very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, welcome guys to Stanley Parable, where we are employee 427. We usually get our little orders at our desk here. We're an office worker, but no one has turned up to work, no one has said hello to us. So we are to find out what is going on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Look, okay. These are all little things we can do when we come back, right? I hate Mondays. Let's keep moving.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Let's see what he says if we just stay here for another minute.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Let's try and break him. What's he going to say now?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, Mr. Narrator, why not? You know, we've got to be a bit,
You realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, I suppose I will continue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then loss. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
What the
by
fuck's
sheer
going on
luck.
here, bro?
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. I go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
No! Possibly. It happens sometimes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. I wonder what happens if I hit all 5. Okay. Maybe I can't do that just now. What's this? Or maybe I'll have to go in here and give it commands. That's just...
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
No. Easy.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Yeah.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yeah.
And Stanley was happy.
Was a happy man. Perfect.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
with this door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I
This
do not
was
think
not
so.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Shut the door, narrator.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Run that shit back, narrator.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Oh,
Stanley was
what's
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Chessman, narrator. We'll see what happens, bro. Warning. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's moving in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. Okay, so we jump off.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. I know, I fucked up because I turned one of them off before.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Prove it.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh no, I feel like it's a trap.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Oh, okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Now I really feel like this is a trap, bro.
I still don't think we're communicating
okay.
properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Let me out. Ha!
All right,
What?
fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
That could have worked.
Give me absolutely
Give me a
nothing
gun.
so far.
Let me shoot you.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Come on, then.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oh, what, you want me to go through this door? You... No. I go through this door.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Well, nah.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable. Worldwide leaderboard. In total, did you know that I skipped the intro sequence? This is you. What? How long did it take you to get to me? Ah! Why not ask some friends for help? Error. Friends listed. Take your wee digs, narrator. Take your little digs. This your superior. This is your. A dead rat is objectively right. Okay. These are objectively, you know what I mean? I don't agree with that. Mussolini! Mussolini is above me!
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Oh.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh, you little fucker. Oh my fucking lord. I am a moral man. I'm a moral man. I will not let this baby burn because some fucking You know it, Liz. I will not allow this baby to burn because the narrator is a fucking spiteful little cunt. Fuck you. You know what? No, I'm a man of more. This is actually pissing me off so like much. My hands are sweating. I don't know why. Shut the fuck up. Die. One last time. One last time. So one last time, bitch. Okay, burn. I would do this for 4 hours if I actually knew there was a... Burn.
You heartless bastard.
Fuck you!
You do
I
it because
fucking
you hate
sat
babies,
there
or
for
purely to
fucking
spite
ages!
me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to
God
do.
damn
I'm
it.
completely
I
out of
fucking
ideas.
pushed that button
I can't
just
think
to
of a
spite
single
you.
thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm
Oh,
out. I'm done. It's
means
over.
you're gonna browse
Thank
son.
you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey,
I
since
gave
my
you a
game was so
5!
awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes,
It
this
happens.
seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Merry Christmas, bro. I hope you had a good Christmas, mate. I forgot to message you.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
What the fuck is this shit?
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must
What
be.
the fuck?
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward
Man.
and see what else is out there.
It wasn't bad, you know. Just chill. So what does that mean? You still get paid even though you can't work? You know, act of God. What is this? Well, yeah, I had a good one, man. Had the burn, you know. Good stuff. That's what you want. Pay for less, you know, less work. My work would find it some way to fucking, you know what I mean? Like, my work would probably hit me with, you know, like, we have to take that off your personal holidays because, you know, you were able to come in and, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they would try and hit us with some bullshit. Like, I was in Boxing Day.
No, it can't be.
But I don't mind, you know. What is this? What is going on here?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
You still in the fishmonger
Okay,
thing,
I'm
Lee?
going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Where is he? Where is he putting me?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now, this is game design.
Petrol
Stanley,
station?
if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Oh, what the Oh, I'm in Rocket League.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think
So
it's
if I ever
sports
need
ball.
gas,
Oh, what fun.
I'm coming to
We
you.
should
I'm
run the
hunting you
bases
down,
and do a
mate.
touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley.
And the gas
here's
prices
ball.
go
Have
up.
fun.
Coming to your door, son. Why is my petrol up this much, son? Well, is that thing going to kill me? Oh my god.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
140
Stanley,
a
I
litre.
have a thought. And I
Thank fuck
realize I'm not a
I don't drive,
sportsologist,
bro.
but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal
But the drivers
pleasure,
at work
then
must
surely
must make
multiple
a
balls
killing for
makes
just
for
like
an
my
even
work alone,
more
just live
euphoric
on petrol.
sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Okay. Now what? He's lost his mind. I've broke the narrator.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Are you still up
You
the board,
having
like
fun?
up north?
Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little
Mine's
fun
is
comes to an end. This
like
is my
where I work.
game,
It's just
and
like
what I say
we
goes.
deliver like
You get to have
vegetables
fun
all
when I
over
let you,
off Fort
Stanley.
William.
Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am
Bro, shut the
structure.
I'm trying to
I'm
speak to
your
my
sense
friends
of
here,
purpose.
narrator.
And
Get
since
the
you
fuck,
decided you
bro.
didn't want to play my game, now I
You
don't
want
want
to
to play
fucking
with
chat?
you either. So goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow,
distro.
I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care,
Nah,
Stanley.
I'm like like we deliver to like all over Scotland. Like we deliver vegetables all over Scotland. I just like pack the pallets and fuck it, like you know what I mean. Yeah. Just like basically a distribution center. It's just like Amazon but for vegetables. It's like, but I only do like the heavy orders or like the fucking like big orders, like the Royal Zoo and fucking, well not the Royal Zoo, but you know what I mean. Yeah, man, it's just fucking. I take pictures of it all right for the sheer fact in case. What the fuck's going on here, bro? Like why? Now he doesn't. Now he won't give me anything to do. But fucking. I don't know. I just make all the big pallets. It's easy work. Like it's just very fucking boring, man. Being stuck in fridges all day. It's fucking freezing. Like there's actual times like I've came out of work and like it's warmer outside. Like you know what I mean?
What are you doing?
I found the hack, bro. Fuck you, narrator.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you
Like,
write
it's
a
just
story
nasty,
without me?
bro.
You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just that it's nasty being stuck in fridges and that all day. And I'm not even in the coldest department. Like, that's the shitty thing. Like, and as well, I'm lucky because I can just like, I can turn my job into a workout and just like, you know what I mean, get the blood pumping. So I'm like, I'm a bit warmer at least. Okay, what have I done? Haha, I've broken. You can't follow me here. I'm in control now, narrator. I'm going to make a new narrator. And he's going to be 10 times better than you. Listen to my clicks. The power. Okay, what's going on here? Bro, that's what I do, eh? I just sit fucking headphones in. 12-hour shifts, bro. Just like fucking power through a bunch of shit. What was it I was listening to? I was listening to like how Alexander conquered all of fucking Persia. Not Persia. What's it fucking called? Basically how Alexander the Great conquered like all of Greece. Like, and how fucking... What was it called? What was it he had done? There was something that he had done. It was a couple of days ago I listened to it. Yeah, there was something he had done specifically where I was just like, you know, like... Just like imagine like that feat alone. Like that would be fucking like... You know what I mean? I don't know, it was like a fucking 3-hour documentary I watched. It was insane. Just like every battle, basically, you know. But there was one specific kind that he had done where I was just like, you know what I mean? can't mind. But it was fucking, I don't know, I just sit and power through documentaries and like listen to fucking bunch of different songs. Right now I'm going through like a, yeah, I mean, just like all that shit, mate. It's good shit, like,
if what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps
it's good
he's
money,
gotten
£12 an hour
down
and
in
that, like,
wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
yeah,
That's
man.
who I am. That
What's
is
the
what I
name of it?
mean
I'll
to this
fucking write it
world.
down in my notes.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends,
Because,
after
like,
it all
honestly,
comes to a
bro,
close, then
I
I'll be back.
what was it as well I watched
The
the other
end will
day?
be here soon.
The whole history of
Very
WWE,
soon.
like,
I can wait.
fucking, the whole fucking shit from when before Vince McMahon and that family owned it to after. It was like, yeah, I mean, to like today, it was fucking insane, bro. I think that was a good. And as well, what was it fucking? I watched a documentary on fucking a boxer anyway. It's like it was like hour and a half watch. Fucking class, mate. Joe Calzaghe. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Oh, it's a good watch actually. Like, I've really enjoyed it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
What you been
simply
up to,
missed
bro?
a
What you
memo.
been playing? Like, you know what I mean? You just been chilling, fucking just working your ass off like a slave. Don't worry, I've been doing the same. Like, no life in it at work, bro. It's like fucking grim.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
I miss the good old Red Dead days,
kind
like,
of effort that warrants recognition.
fucking, yeah, I mean, my job's so mundane, bro. It's like no stories to tell. Fucking, I can imagine, especially being up the borders. You must get a bunch of different Raj cunts, like, not the borders, sorry, up north. Must get a bunch of just Raj cunts. Fucking, especially like being on the boats and that. Oh, must have been great fun, bro. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that time I was helping Adam Brown. Mind I have told the story hundreds of times.
Satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble
Bro, that just reminds me of helping Adam Brown, and like, he's like, oh, he's a fucking child predator, he's a rapist. It's like, bro, what the actual fuck? Where am I? Like, why am I ruining these people? Like, what the fuck? He's like, it's good money. It's like, I don't give a fuck about no money, bro. No money can make me work for these people. What the fuck? I feel like I'm a part of a community service fucking gig here. What the fuck is this shit? Nah, but, you know what I mean? They were the good old days. You know, I say the good old days, but like, they were the fun days when you would just like, day like random shit and you're just like, fuck this. Oh, one of they creepy bastards, bro. Nah.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have
Nah,
meant
fuck
something.
that shit, bro.
It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle,
I'm not
Stanley.
into that.
I want to see
Like,
commitment,
that shit.
a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost.
It's
Why
like
don't
funny
you go put
watching on
20 clicks
YouTube and
in
that,
door
like,
number
you know what I
417?
mean, like to catch a predator and things. But it's see when you're like see when you actually have to deal with like the real life like versions of them. Nah, couldn't hack that shit. Oh, one of the Tylers, huh? One of the Tylers. Bro, that's exactly who you're kind of describing right now. Remember that fucker? Not basically, bro. That ain't no basically about it. I can't think. I was actually speaking. I was telling someone about him the other day for some reason. Just speaking to someone else. I was just like, bro, he used to claim he could click his heels and knives would pop out his shoes. Well, I was telling him about that. I was just like, I don't know how many times he wanted me to click that door. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing it anymore. It's starting to hurt. Bro, he was a fucking... Oh, new content. No, I want to go that way. Why? Where are you taking me?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home
What type
computers.
of demented shit is this?
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that
just
broadens
fucking
and
around.
expands
Yeah,
the world of
that's
the
all I
Stanley
do
Parable,
nowadays,
delighting audiences
But
the
yeah,
world
bro,
over.
fucking... I know the feeling, like, waking up late and shit.
Please
I gotta, like,
step inside
fuck around with
and
my
see
sleeping
what
routine, stay
thrilling
up
new
late
adventures
today.
await in the
So I'm
Stanley
up
Parable
early tomorrow,
Ultra
fucking
Deluxe.
out having a meal with everyone,
Oh, well,
so...
this sounds delightful. I'm very
But yeah, bro,
excited to see
enjoy
the
the rest of your
thrilling
day, man.
new
Fucking
Ultra
I'll try and
Deluxe
shoot you a message
content.
at, like, New Year's or something, bro. But if I don't, enjoy your New Year.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning
Like,
of a
it's fucking...
mesmerizing adventure.
Life is shite, eh? Like, but that's why I sit and play these wee fucking,
Is it
you know what I
broken?
mean, fun games.
What's
Just
going
like
on
have a
here?
wee fucking joke or
Should
something,
we
eh?
be moving somewhere? Or, oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
kill
I've
time.
never been more ready. Let's do
Eat a
it.
fucking brownie or something. You know what I mean? Just get baked.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump. Oh, okay. Oh. This is so good. I can jump. Hey. No. Why delete the jump?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Of course. Okay, bro. What the fuck's going on here?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Fuck is this shit?
Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Okay. What the fuck have I walked into? Memory lane. Smile because it happened. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. New video game released today. Stanley Parable deals tough choices.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Well, that's what happens when, you think you live in your, I don't know, fucking glass window shit.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to do. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices are what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. Only billions left until so much more than forever ago. Which is why I say the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all, until the end.
Okay.
Oh, you're back, you see.
Okay.
You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was
Let's
plenty
go
of time for me
here
to
now.
deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay.
Alright, okay, cool. Cool, pal.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or something like that.
Okay.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel.
No narrator? Hello? Next one?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review. The end is never the end, 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 is
go. Okay. The end is never the end, is never the end.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Yo, dude, you're going to make me fucking sit for this bit again. Oh, maybe not.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh,
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah, this is what I've been talking about. Go on, narrator.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Ah, exactly. See, we're thinking about the money there. That's why we need a man like you on the team, son. Making dreams a possibility yet again, narrator.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
This way to the show floor. New features, okay. What are the new features going to be, narrator? You're sort of like sending me all these, directions, but you're not really showing me anything here.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Why do you need to? What's going on here? Why am I locked in this cage? Like I'm not a jail cell when I see the bars. The Stanley. Please, no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
What the I didn't notice there was a thing. I just started walking back for no reason.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
No. Free trophy. Pull the lever, receive your trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, you'll come to this leap. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Amigo, you'll break the game, huh? Why you tease me like this, narrator? You say you're going to give me trophy.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I'm going to leave you. You fucking free trophy. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. What? Huh? What the fuck? Infinity hole. Well, let's have a look at the collectible. You can find them. You can find them. Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative
Oh, what the
is
fuck?
that
Why
there
am I
will be
walking into
no
the
reward
God
for
spark here?
collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay. How do I go back in here?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Fuck's sake, bro. Settings, world champion.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named
Amend. I turned all the stats up. I am God. I forgot what the actual options were, but we'll pretend like I knew them.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Dun, 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 dun. That's new. And we will also increase that to 4. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The button that says the name of the player that is in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
See if you were
so, then
actually
please
called
step
Jim.
forward and press
What
the
would you do in this moment? Eh? Like, I would be quite depressed. You just like, yeah, I do truly feel like a Jim.
Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush. That was you.
Yeah, fuck her,
The
that's
button
good.
described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
No! Give me back the Jim button. Does this one say Jim? Give me back Jim. Where did you take him? Jim, no.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Mm-hmm. Let's try this infinity hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh shit. Oh no.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh shit.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've
Whoa,
prepared
that's
for you.
trippy
I really
as
spent quite
shit.
a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you.
I'm not gonna lie, though,
truly
I'm
did not
fucking
believe
dripping
that
balls
anyone
there,
would
like.
actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole...
Fuck you, I didn't say a word to you about this fucking one. I just wanted to see you. No.
Button to warp up to the top of the hole.
No. We're gonna fucking word about this shit.
When you're ready.
I wanted to see if you were a man of your word and you fucking lied to me, narrator. There's multiple times you've lied to me about shit. I'm not fucking accepting this. Let's get out of this place. What about now?
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
No. The problem's fucking you, bro. No, yeah, I do like holes about. No, fuck you, bro. I do like my holes.
Hole right there goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh no.
I don't know.
Weird sort of. Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you?
Yes, it did.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before.
Now tell me, bro.
Admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Wait a second.
Gosh,
we need to test this shit.
You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Yeah, this is getting smaller, bro.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole. Now you'll get more time of it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get
I said I like toast, but I didn't say I like...
do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
No.
You and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Fuck you, bro. Get your ass back on your seat, narrator, and narrate my fucking ass out of here. Narrator. I didn't like that shit. Narrator. Bro. What the fuck you doing, man? Why the fuck you leave me like this? I fucking came... Bro, I hear weird noises, motherfucker. What the fuck's going on? Narrator, bro. Bro. Yo. I like this. What the fuck you doing, G? What the fuck? Narrator, man. What the fuck, bro? Narrator. Get your ass back here! Let me out! You fucking pussy! What the fuck? Narrator! You fucking cowards! Ain't gonna lie, that is one of the best shots in gaming history. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm in the hole. Hey, yeah. I'm in the hole. Yeah. I'm in the hole. Yeah. I don't like that one. I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole. I'm in a hole.
My head's stronger.
Yo, what the fuck is this? What is this demented shit now? What the fuck?
My head's stronger. You're no longer. You.
Stanley! Stanley!
Bro, what was...
You're awake.
What the
It seems you had
fuck?
sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So
Bro.
how about if I just pop in from time to time and
I'll
wake you up to
fuck
keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Bro, I'll fucking...
From the looks
I'll
of
fuck
things,
you up,
you
mate.
and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them.
What?
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Bro, get your ass back. Oh. What's going on now?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Fuck this, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Okay.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I wouldn't be lying if I said I really want to go back to the hole.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
No fuck.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Is it all coming together? Okay.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Fuck off. This dude, man.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building.
He's fucking put the balloons in. He's a fucking lunatic.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push.
This is a fucking lunatic, man.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Where?
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy, it's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it.
It's mine.
Oh no, we're getting into name
My
calling.
precious.
Is this how low the broom closet has
You
sunk that
fucker.
it has to resort to this stream of petty
fuck
insults
you.
simply in order to get you to hand over the
No,
bucket?
it's my bucket.
Stanley,
My
I never liked
bucket.
this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined.
Fuck you,
Wait,
broom closet.
now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your
You're
relationship
fucked.
is purely superficial and
No,
convenient?
no, 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 no,
That
no,
your
no, no,
life
no,
is
no, no,
so
no, no,
banal
no,
and
no, no, no.
meaningless that you'd
You're
feel the same
chatting
sort
shit,
of
broom
kinship
closet.
towards any inanimate object which
No.
happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I've never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into
Yeah.
it. Really tell the broom
Fuck
closet
you,
off for
broom
its
closet.
demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of
Fuck
experiences
you.
and the bucket have shared
This is
together.
my...
Go
Yeah,
through
me and this
each of them
bucket
point by
of...
point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings. for the
walked
bucket
through
as they have
doors
changed
together.
and evolved over the years.
We seen
Let him have
balloons. We seen the title entry. He almost got to see a hole. That's how close me and the bucket
Okay,
are.
I've got you something which I think will help
Yeah,
settle this
yeah,
debate once
yeah.
and for all.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
we go.
Ha!
Now it's
It's
settled.
my bucket.
No more debate.
Fuck
no
you.
more discussion. Take a
Mine's.
hike, broom closet.
Yeah,
All
yeah, yeah.
your meandering philosophical diatribes
slam
about
that
the
door.
nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Well, my bucket.
All
Screw
right,
you.
I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
You see?
Boom.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way,
My
if you're ever unsure
bucket.
whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or
Fucking
not,
what a
you can
game.
look down at this sticker
I
and say
feel
to
so
yourself,
stupid.
it's a bucket.
So stupid.
There really is. And coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I feel so fucking stupid. Yeah, I feel so stupid, man. I'm going into the toilet. What the f... Oh,
You found one of them. One of the
I
miniature
kind of
Stanley
shit
figurines
myself there. I was like,
lined
what the
up.
fuck is
No
that?
reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. stepping in.
I've got to go all the way back to input this shit on the computers. Okay. You are now leaving. I heard the narrator in a wee bit. What's he saying? Aha! Me and the bucket have escaped. What the fuck? He's gonna kiss the bucket. He's gonna sit. No! He's gonna send the bucket away. By itself. The true act of a hero. Refusing to get. I lost my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Jen, how can you tell you spotted one? Who took pictures of them? Fig leaves are hard to find. 416. Thank you, good luck.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping in...
Now what happens? Sit down, okay, let's do more floors. One more floor. Oh, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. And try not to lose this one too, you dog. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Oh my god.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay. What the fuck?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from
No.
the
Don't you fucking
Okay,
try it, bro.
here we
You
go.
give me the bucket, I'll keep my bucket. No!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Because
was
haha,
everything a bucket?
told you.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go. How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Ugh, said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
The bucket is God.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Well, I'm not seeing no dark room. This dark room. Oh.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I don't believe you.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press angle. Just take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
No! Go back to work!
Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
What am I doing? Don't listen to the loud man. Push up to take us back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
I will only follow the bucket.
I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of
bucket gives
shiny
me
bucket.
meaning.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
To relive.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No.
Yeah,
What's going
shag
on?
the,
Why do I want to be with the bucket?
Hear
what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
This my bucket, bro.
Give it to me now.
My bucket.
Or I'll...
No. Why? It took my bucket. Where the fuck's my bucket, bro? Where's my bucket?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The bucket is mine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I don't know how little more lucid I'm going to be for it.
And began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
We died.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran. All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. It would probably be something like, got to turn every single one of these fuckers off.